Yeah, I'm on the right place. Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the greatest man alive. Ah, Kabunam Nogo. Yeah, anyway, just confirming that. Let's experiment. What can I do with this? This might be a new era. It's kind of annoying. I don't think I'll do that every time. Why don't I do that again? Let's see. Let's do one more. I'm just sharing the link here. I haven't done that before. Not like this. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning of Chimoge's comments might remember when I would live stream from my laptop and then I would share the link every time. I don't know if I'll do that again. But I've registered a viewer. Alright. Well, this is the real beginning. That kind of messes up the energy. Anyway. Christianity, dating philosophy, relationship philosophy, messing up the world. I'm tired. Let's go. I'm gonna wait till the 3-minute mark and then I'll begin in earnest. Abumebere, ball, Abumebere, culture, yeah. Abumebere, culture, neba. Abumebere, mona junuwa. Abumebere, kikeka. Abumebere, nive, Aburu ebere buamadu, aburu kaka. Aburu karakandu. A better no way. Yeah. All right, let's begin. Kabrinam Nogoha. Welcome. Thank you to my returning viewers. Shimoge here again. To the new people, I want to get right into it. I'll give you 4 things to understand me anew. And I see I've registered viewers. I see the number 27, then 13. Both good numbers. 27 is the number of purgation. Also the love of life. Welcome. And 13 is the number of Eze, the leader. Also integrity. Expand forever. Every view is a blessing. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can comment as well. Every comment is a blessing. I read comments at my discretion. Here's the leg of information about me. 1. My government name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. That last name is spelled I-B-E. Look it up, you'll find me. 2. I founded and owned the media company Ozibenwuku. Ozibenwuku. I usually capitalize the O and the second I. Check it out. Ha! Up in the better ball, up in the better call monster, is it? Up in the better one of the also. Up in the better one of the what? Up in the better what? Yeah. Up in the better ball, up in the better ball, up in the better ball, up in the better Callahan caution, up in Callahan caution, up in Callahan morning marcher, up in marcher, So, that's fact 2. Fact 3. My astrological sun sign is Capricorn. And fact 4. Astrologically, I am also a Scorpio descendant. Yes, I'm just saying that quickly. Look it up. You'll find out things about me. You see, Scorpio descendant, in my language, according to my ancestors, the proper way to express that is that Inwe Munya Kanso now. What is Munya Kanso? Munya Kanso, the wife of overcoming sin. That is the Fourth, rhythm of the thing you can call Oshun. Yes. Manifest is the animal of the same name, the one we call a scorpion. Think about it. The spider, at least the base, there are many different types of spider, but the base, I guess, archetype of spider, if you will, Udide, the crawler, is Oshun. You can literally call it Oshun. Same with the scorpion. They're very similar. But anyway, if you have that particular thing in your astrological chart, and again, the way astrology works is it just uses aspects of nature to enhance your being. It gives you extra powers. So already, if you are a Madyuha, you have the power of foresight. But if you come through at a time where you get the power of Munya Kanso, that foresight is enhanced. I got enhanced foresight. I got enhanced foresight. Yes. And I also want to say this. Apparently, the term Scorpio descendant really refers to Onishi Kalakan. I believe it. Anyway, what am I saying here? Scorpio descendant people are very good at getting information from spirit, and they're very good at communicating. Yes. But in the world today, we have cults. These are cults that want people to believe that you need some extra co-signing from the powers that be to get information from spirit. And let's be honest, people have a limited understanding of what it means to get information from spirit. There are two types. One, where you talk to a spirit that is also another life form. And the second one is when you look at spiritual information yourself and you put it together. That can also be called raw thought. Let me move. You see, the top three cults in the world, and this is both as a combination of size, power, and destructiveness, are number one, atheism, number two, secularism, and number three, Christianity. These cults weave and intermingle, and many individuals are part of all three. Yes, confounding as it is, many individuals are part of all three. Interesting, got a notification. I see a comment. Thank you very much. I read comments at my discretion. Every comment is a blessing. Hi back. Anyway, what am I saying here? I'm saying because of this situation, people miss many basic things because evil people and other misguided people, because sometimes a person's actions are evil, but they themselves are not evil because they're all over the place. But evil people and many misguided people mislead the populace. They mislead the world. And this manifests in its most irritating fashion in Christianity. And let me explain this. You see, Ele is not irritating because you don't even process him. But then you have God. God is very irritating. You see, Christians oftentimes end up believing they are the God they claim they worship. And really, a lot of them are attempting to worship Ele. Now, why am I going into all of this? Because Christianity is most focused on romance. Yes, okay. Christianity is most focused on romance. The scaffolding is about wiping away sin. They talk about how that 3 in 1 somehow came down and became bread, was 33, passed away, after 3 days rose, whatever. That's the scaffolding. But then all they talk about is stuff in the romantic area. And I'm saying it like that because if I'm too specific, I'll say something vile. And they go into vile things. They talk about deviancy, but they make two mistakes. One, hanekon culture. What do I mean by that? They go into gory details unnecessarily, and I'll leave it at that. And two, they flip the script. They say that evil is good and good is evil, and I'll leave it at that because there are too many things. Because of that, people's sense of moral uprightness is deviant. Because one, the first thing they look to is people's romantic life. That's not appropriate. If you want to look at someone's morality, you have to look at them overall. And really, we should not be in a state in this world where you look at someone and wonder if they are moral. But that's another story because, well, the world has been broken for a long time. But when you're engaging in the backup function of wondering whether or not someone's a good person, it is deviant to only look at their romantic area, especially because the romantic area is interwoven through everything else. So really, you should just take a comprehensive look, and then at the end, you go, okay, do I even need to look at the romantic area? I'm saying all this because, for a while now, I've been seeing, like everyone else, many videos talking about romance in a negative fashion. And I can tell, even if they're not labeled, that these come from modern Christian culture. Because the title of today's Greatest Man Alive segment, or this one, because I did one earlier, check that one out. Yes, I talked about the devil, and yes, there are two of them. No, you shouldn't engage with either of them. But anyway, the problem is that, these videos and the points that are made in them, because some of these videos might be a net positive, but overall it's not good enough, and many of them are a deep net negative. The problem is that these videos very lazily advance negative aspects of the Christian ideology about romance and relationships in general. I'm going to expand because romance is a subset of relationships in general. Because all relationships are intertwined, at the end of the day, you can't just look at relationships in isolation. And I'll leave it at that because that's very complicated. There are two particular aspects of the Christian relationship philosophy that I want to highlight here. And, I know I've given this a big wind up, but I actually don't want to be here too long because I have something to do. But anyway, the first is the idea that marriage is a trap. And I'm going to phrase it like that because it's hard to phrase. I'm going to say this. We should not be in a state where romantic relationships end. But the higher level version of that comment is we should not be in a state where bad romantic relationships have begun. And there are two ways that a bad romantic relationship can begin. Yes, I'm giving a two within the one. Bear with me, I'll get to the second one. The first way a bad romantic relationship can begin is if before the relationship even happens, things are not good. And for some reason, people enter into a relationship. That's case one. Case two is when a good relationship is underway and then all of a sudden things break down. When things break down, that is a new era. That is a bad relationship that has begun. That should not happen. That is the thing to target most. Because obviously, when a bad relationship has occurred, leaving is the second option. And I say that because the first option is to look and see if it can be saved. But let me say this. If the bad relationship is bad beyond a certain point, the second option must be engaged first. And I'll leave it at that. It should be obvious the cases in which these are. But anyway, back to looking at the overall point. The idea that marriage is a trap attempts to say, you know what, let's pretend like the bad relationship never happened, and or let's just say the bad relationship doesn't matter. This manifests in modern divorce and breakup culture. Let me move. So, modern divorce and relationship culture is very messy, and I won't go into all the details, but all I'm saying is that obviously it shouldn't exist, and it flows out from this Christian ideal. Because if Christianity was not out here promoting the idea that marriage is a trap, people could simply move through their relationships differently. And I'll say it like that because at the end of the day, obsessing with the concept of divorce, and I'll just call it that, is deviant. Because we have to be honest, they're obsessed with the relationship members, and I'll just say it like that because I don't want to get into too many combinations. But they're obsessed with the relationship members' physical proximity to each other, public presentation, and then what I will call Nimihe, to be very blunt. You see, these are things that the general public should not be looking at. And that's not because these aspects of relationships are taboo. It's just there's certain things that are meant to be dealt with in a small space. And I'll say it like that. If two people in a relationship or relationship members, and I'm just saying it like that because again, I don't want to get into too many combinations, but you know me, I'm not a monogamy person. And it's crazy to have to say that because monogamy people should not exist. And when I'm saying that, I'm just saying people should not be engaging in monogamy. Okay, I'm not saying those individuals should, perish. But anyway, um, you see, if individuals in a relationship decide that they want to change their physical proximity, they should be free to do so. That's not always bad. And I'll leave it at that. There are many combinations. If individuals in a relationship decide they should change how they talk about their relationship in public, they should be able to do that. That is nothing. In fact, that is just part of refining a relationship. And then the worst one. If you're ninihe, mesihe, ninihamere, the right. There are lots of phrases involving right, husband, obligation, this, that. The husband tends to come up a lot, and then, well, the wife is attacked. You see, that tends to be the dominant form the discourse takes. That is the most vile one. And I'm not going to go into it. All I'm going to say is this. If you want to get out a contract for that sort of thing, you don't know what's going on, and that's criminal. Let me move. So, Abunam nogo, abunam epim, abunam epim, abunam epim, abuma cancel, abum dimunya cancel, abuma paramunya cancel, abuma madio, kala kanu neptune neba. Anyway, just injecting some new energy into this. So I said what I had to say there. What's the outgrowth of that? You have people who get abused in marriages, and I'll leave it at that. And then you have a lot of evil related to hesitancy to get married. I'm going to say this. People should not be hesitant to get married. At the same time, we should not have this evil standard of marriage. But because it's unnatural to be hesitant to get married, and married is simply the deepest possible state of union, I'll leave it at that. Because it's unnatural to be hesitant to get married, you see so many unnatural combinations coming out. Okay. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I'm gonna give two that are the most foul. One, you have the concept of one and done, and I'll leave it at that. That is foul. Two, you have Journey to the West. Let me move. And when I say Journey to the West, back on screen here, and when I say Journey to the West, again, I'll be honest, I have other terms for it, but I'm just gonna think on how to present them because they all give you something. But when I say Journey to the West, I'm talking about um, engagement periods that are way too long. At some point, it's just weird playing. But anyway, that's the one thing that destroyed everything. The other thing, the other aspect of Christian relationship philosophy that's destroying everything is that you must be with your family no matter what. And this is because obviously marriage creates family, and people who are married to each other are family. But again, they're a different wing of the family than the gene pool. It's just that comes together to form the larger family, and then marriage extends the gene pool. I don't have to go into that. Now, this affects the gene pool itself, but I'm going to leave that alone. What I want to do is talk about its effect on, well, let me leave most of the gene pool alone. Let me limit it to the uko that Christians like to look at, the four, the leg. Because really, Christians are about one man, one woman, two children. And I'll leave it at that. They have a limited view of family. But, and I'm going to say it like this, even if there are five children in the mind of a Christian, that is two. Anyway, um, what they're saying is that no matter how abusive that unit gets, people cannot leave. And that is terrible. It obviously it feeds into problem one, it destroys the married individuals, and then it destroys the children. Parents are abusing child. Oh, you must stay. No. Yes, many cases, and obviously this happens when the children are adults. Really, if you're talking about um, someone's child who's not yet an adult abusing them, there's something wrong. That is at worst a child who's misbehaving. Just change your parenting strategy. Do not come to me with anything else. But, and leaving that there, but when someone is an adult, obviously, yes, they can abuse their parents. This happens a lot. And I'm going to say this as someone who does not have a good connection with his parents. You can criticize your parents, you can call them out, but there is stuff that is not that and gets grouped in with that, and I see that a lot among many people. That is not good. And I'll say it another way. Criticizing one's parents does not make one a hypocrite for calling out elder abuse. Let me move. And then the other bad outgrowth, and I'm not going to compare these combinations, but the other bad outgrowth is saying that siblings must always interact. Again, people need their families. But if it breaks down, and I want to emphasize, if it breaks down, and I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. My ancestors are begging me not to go into more detail. But if it breaks down, we must engage the backup function. And the backup function includes the possibility of not interacting. Now, again, To reiterate, Christian relationship culture, among many other things, emphasizes that one, marriage is a trap, and two, family must interact no matter what. Another way of saying the second one is that family must keep interacting even if they abuse each other. Doesn't make any sense. Best way, family must keep interacting even if they commit acts of evil against each other. That is evil. That's an evil ideology. What does this do? It destroys everything. It's polluting society. It's not one thing. I'm tired of it. I'm seeing it come up in the marketplace of ideas. It comes up in how people analyze celebrity divorces, sibling conflicts, conflicts between partners, so-called ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband. We need to stop. We need to stop. Because really, we just need to have like 10 conferences and change the culture, because this is nonsense. And in the meantime, we need to do better analysis. We cannot just stare at a so-called divorce proceeding and say, this is not what the pastor told me. It's just not good enough. Anyway, this is Kala Khan. I've said a lot. More will be said, but I hope you get me, and please do basic things. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go get some food and sunlight. You do that as well. See you next time. Chimoge here. Did I even put up a short? Yeah. There's at least one. Really, let me wait, and then I'll put up a second one. Abu Neptune Abiliki. Abu Mabiliki Kiliki Kaka. Abu Mabiliki Amadioha. Abu Mamadioha Nimeya. Abu Mamadioha Kaka. Abu Mamadioha Nuwa. Abu Mamadioha Kaka. Abu Mamadioha Nuwa. Abu Neptune, god of the sea. Abu Neptune, god of the sky. Abu Neptune, I am the guy. Abu Mamadioha Bobbin. Abu Mamadioha Kaka. Abu Mamadioha Kekaka. Kekaraka Abu Mamadioha.